Confined space. Here are the course goals. Know your company's confined space procedures. Understand the various roles each person plays when working in a confined space. Introduction. Confined space entries are never routine. You may use the same equipment, run the same tests, and even work with the same crews, but the conditions you face inside are very different every time, and may include low oxygen levels, gas leaks, and toxic fumes. In many situations, these hazards can knock you out in a heartbeat. Because of this, OSHA created the Permit Required Space Regulations 29 CFR 1910.146. Definitions. A confined space is large enough for a person to enter, but access is physically limited or restricted. They are large enough to work in, but are not designed for continuous use. A permit-required confined space is a confined space as defined above, which has one or more of the following characteristics. Contains or potentially can contain a hazardous atmosphere. Contains material that can potentially engulf entrants or has an internal configuration, so an entrant could be trapped or asphyxiated by inwardly converging walls or by a floor which slopes downward and tapers to a smaller cross-section. Contains other recognized serious safety or health hazards. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration's OSHA Permit Required Confined Spaces Standard, 29 CFR 1910.146, requires a confined space entry program, Permit Space Program. The Permit Space Program prevents unauthorized and unintentional entry into a confined space and assures safe entry into and work within confined spaces. An attendant is an individual stationed outside one or more permit spaces who monitors authorized personnel, entrants, and who performs all attendance duties assigned in the location's permit space program. Authorized entrants are either your company or contract personnel who are authorized by the location to enter a permit space. Entry is the action by which a person passes through an opening into a permit-required confined space. Entry includes ensuing work activities in that space and is considered to have occurred as soon as any part of the entrant's body breaks the plane of an opening into the space. Entry permit, is the written or printed document that is provided by the employer to allow and control entry into a permit space, and that contains the information specified in the confined space section of this module. The entry supervisor is responsible for determining if acceptable entry conditions are present at a permit space where entry is planned, for authorizing entry and overseeing entry operations, and for terminating entry as required by this program. Isolation is the process by which a permit space is removed from service and completely protected against the release of energy and material into the space by using such means as blanking or blinding, misaligning and capping or removing sections of lines, pipes, or ducts, lockout and tag out of all sources of energy, blocking or disconnecting all mechanical linkages. A hazardous atmosphere is an atmosphere that may expose employees to the risk of death, incapacitation, impairment of the ability to self-rescue, escape unaided from a permit space, injury, or acute illness from flammable gases, vapors, or mists above 10% of the lower explosive limit LEL, airborne combustible dust at a concentration that meets or exceeds its LEL, atmospheric oxygen concentrations below 19.5% or above 23.5%.